Hey Nick, I'm doing fine, thanks. Is that German? I believe it's German. Today, somebody asked about Spider-Man. No, I can't remember where. I think it was here or on the other app. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to mention the other app on this app. Ah, it was you, really? Well, that's good. I'm going to make him acrobatic. Some artists like to make him really acrobatic. I'm going to try it out. I like the more traditional Spidey, but I'm curious about the acrobatic with legs and arms all around the place. Yeah, I remember somebody asked about it, and I say, yeah, sure, I can do it. I've done I've done him before. A couple of times. My favorite that I've done, and my favorite Spider-Man suit is the Superior Spider-Man. I drew him, I can't remember where, when, but I have him in the channel somewhere. But I'm happy you came. And sometimes people have requests and I never see them again, which is okay, I guess, but I'm happy when I get to see at least what they wanted. And now you're here, dude. So, okay, which Spider-Man you like? You want regular Spider-Man, Peter Parker, or do you want Miles Morales, somebody else? There's too many Spider-Mans around now. I kind of like Peter Parker though. Yeah, let's go for the OG. So the question is, should he have the leg in the back? What do you think? Is it better with the leg in the back here? It looks kind of original. Or do we put it down here? Make it more classic. I'm putting you on the driver's seat. Oh, you like it like that? Okay, good. Let's do it. Thank you. Yeah, I like this. You're right. You're absolutely right. And that's important. You hit a good note there. It's important with the energy. Yeah. And the way I become better at this, and I say better because you never fully grow or fully get the whole knowledge and or become whatever you want to become. You need to practice all the time. You will never reach your full potential. I will never do it. I don't think anybody will do it. But you need to continue practicing. You need to continue drawing every day, all the time. I'm doing this every day and I'm not learning new stuff all the time. Sounds like a cliche, but it's the truth. I'm gonna start the ink now. Turn in the paper. Hey, Art by Trinity, welcome. Thank you. Yeah, that's difficult. It will never be easy, but you will start if you repeat and repeat and redo and do stuff again, you will start to understand the anatomy of the body, the physics, and your brain will remember and recognize, and it will become easier every time you draw. Yeah, I understand. But don't try to force your brain to do anything, because everything will fall into places by itself. And like I say, by doing repetitions, if you do the repetitions all the time, I still doing them. I mean, what I'm doing now is like repetition. You just need to continue, and it's an ongoing process that will continue your whole life. So the outlines is what I did now. Let's continue with the eyes. I didn't get the eyes quite right though. Hey Zalimler, fi mazulmliar. Welcome. You sound like a character from Lord of the Rings or something. Maybe you're one of the Valar, or Malar, Maiar. Can't remember all the names. need to leave some space for the spider. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about today making something because I've been watching this series, the Amazon series Rings of Power, and I felt like I need to draw something from that. Yeah, the Witch King has a pretty awesome design. So you're absolutely right. Okay, here's an arrogant question for you guys. How many legs has a spider? It's not a trick question, and I'm not trying to see your knowledge. It's just that I can't remember, and I need to draw this spider here. Hello, Nick. Yeah. Yes, they have a lot of characters and a lot of cultures. What I like about that world that he created, Tolkien, is that they have like different name for different characters depending on the culture they came from. Like for example, Sauron hated that they called him Sauron. There was an insult name that the elves gave him, so he preferred another name. Can't remember which it was now. Amazing, all the details and the cultures and that he made. Okay, I'm going to make a spider with 4 legs because, like I said, I'm a bit ignorant here with this stuff. Yeah, that's the hard shadows. I always like to do them directly after I do the line art. So I know and decide where the shadows should go. Let's start with the web. And I'm outside. I'm out of frame. Let's see. Oh. Oh, I have some. I think I need to go with John Byrne if we're talking comics. And of course, we're talking comics. And after that, I have to go with Jim Lee, of course. And I think you can see it in my art. But if we go way back, if you go old school, really old school, I liked Gene Colan. Gene Colan? Gene. Can't remember his name right. I think it was Gene Colan. He made a lot of horror comics. He made a lot of Doctor Strange comics. But he was a master of light and shadows, which I really liked. It was impressive. He was one of the creators of Blade too. And I think he was one of the first comic book artists that created some realistic shadowing. I mean, his shadowing really reminds me of like Alex Ross, these kind of people. He only makes realistic drawings and paintings. Alex Ross. Starting to look like he's Spider-Man. I need to go with Mark Silvestri too. A big inspiration. I kind of enjoy his art until now. Whenever he decides to make something, because he does it rarely. Hey, Ayan. Ayan Ezai. Welcome. How do you mean by smoother? Do you put a lot of pressure on the pen? Or do you want to keep a straight line all the way? Because like I said a couple of minutes ago, you need to practice with repetition if you want to learn techniques and learn how to handle pens so the strokes are more softer and not too hard. And that's the boring part. You learn only by repetition. It depends on who you are too, because I can enjoy learning by repetition. It's kind of fun. Oh, in my opinion, I like this kind of style. Like I like the comic book style. But I enjoy watching like these sci-fi paintings that people make digitally on Photoshop and these kind of things. I'm very impressed with how they do stuff, especially vehicles when they do like spaceships and these kind of things. I've always been very impressive with that. That impresses me a lot. I'd like to learn that. Maybe I will someday. Oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, the animes are like moving pictures, and manga is like the comic version of it. And you're absolutely right, it's awesome. I like them too. I get a lot of requests to make some anime characters. I made one like 2 weeks ago. This character called Guts. Somebody requested him, so I made him. I googled him and then I drew him. And people were happy with the results. But I didn't do him in manga style because I can't lie. I can't say that I'm good at something that I'm really not good at. Guts, I think, is from Berserk. Thank you, Nick. I'm happy you like it. That's the important thing when people have requests. When they're happy, then it's a success because you succeeded in what they wanted. The webbing on his suits take a long time. But we have until Christmas, right, Nick? That was the deal, right? Yeah. This is a classic suit. I prefer this one. I feel, to be honest, I'm not hating now, but I feel, to be honest, there's too many Spider-Man. Because they made this Spider-Verse in the comics first. And after that, there's like an army of Spider-Man. But I prefer the classic one. One of my, like I said before, the Superior Spider-Man is one of my favorite suits. And I have another one that's my favorite suit. One of my favorite Spider-Man suits, and that's the PlayStation Spider-Man suit. That suit is awesome because it have like some white in it, and it makes, I don't know, I kind of like that. Yeah, really did. Yeah, you're right. The senior one, Junior, I don't like him. And again, I'm not hating, it's just not my cup of tea. But Senior was, this is classic, you can't be more classic than that. I grew up with those guys, you know, reading them, not physically. I don't know. With it's difficult to explain. You're right, because they're missing. Like he's missing a piece of their soul. It's like they're not really alive. His drawings, very stale. And I'm not complaining because I'm an artist. I'm complaining because I like the stories and I like Peter. And the artist attached to his stories. But he didn't do anything for me. I didn't feel it with him. Need to finish that spider. Oh, that's another guy, McFarlane. I don't know. It's not my cup of tea either. He made Spider-Man 2 tangled in. I mean, his legs were all over the place. It was difficult to watch his drawings. But the 90s were crazy. There was a lot of this exaggeration in the comics in the 90s. It was by default, you needed to exaggerate everything. Because at that point, you were selling more comics if you exaggerated. Yeah, the acrobatics were crazy, man. Oh, Neil Adams is one of my all-time favorites too. I really, really like him. I still like him. I mean, all his work, whatever he does, because he has this awesome, like John Byrne kind of a style, but he keeps the childish faces on the characters somehow. It's only him who managed to do that and combine it with some serious, awesome muscles and awesome action. Good that you brought him up because he's also one of my all-time favorites. Yeah, I remember I didn't read too many of the Batman that he made, but he always keep his same style, so I like it. I haven't read the new stuff he's worked on. I think it's, I can't remember the name of them on DC. These young guys from the future. Yeah, yeah, I like Qbert too. And of course Kirby. I can't remember who said that all the comics after Kirby is just fan fiction. I mean, all the artists after Kirby, like John Byrne, Jim Lee, all of them we mentioned. We mentioned they're like fan art of the original. Can't remember who said that. Could have been Frank Miller, maybe. Yeah, he did. Putting some white ink on it. Yeah, you mean webbing with this, with the white one? That's actually a good idea. Let's do it. Just going to differentiate the all black here, so I have it finished. I know I shouldn't enter here. It's just for protection. Change out the pen. Yeah, you understand it correctly. This is why I always, almost always finish all these drawings with black background, because exactly like you say, they're like popping out. It's more fun to look at. This is my feeling anyways. take the mega big pen to work faster. Need to be careful, of course, or we will destroy poor Spidey. We don't want to do that. Only the Green Goblin want to do that. Destroy Spidey. And we're not there yet on that league. Like always, this pen smells like old smoky whiskey. That's the bad news. The good news is that it smells like old smoky whiskey. We're getting there. Yeah, you're right. But there are some people who are good at coloring, so they don't put too much color. So it kind of leaves the feeling of like the contrasts of black and white. Those colorists are awesome. I feel that Alex Ross is one of those. I mean, his art is amazing, but the coloring that he uses, the palette, it makes it feel almost like it's black and white art. It makes his art even more enjoyable. To change up the pens to another pen yet again. That pen was giving up. Take a new one. And this one works much, much better. I'm turning the picture around because I feel more comfortable drawing from the left to the right like this. So I turn the whole picture around. I have more control when I ink this way, especially these big areas. There you go. Now we have a black background, like we wanted. It look kind of grayish, but this is how it is when you do it on paper. Later I scan it and I put it on a computer and it will become all black when I work with the contrasts. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, dude. I'm gonna take that bottle of ink, Indian ink. Okay, let's make a web going from the center and out. Is that okay? What do you think, Nick? Okay, let's do that. It'll be kind of classic. Not very complicated like that. Looks good, looks good. Oh, really? That's awesome. I'm happy that that's the case. Boom! Yeah, there you go. Spider-Man. Pete Spider-Man. I finished him. My all-time favorite Spider-Man, Peter Parker. That's it, guys. I finished. I set out today determined to create a Spider-Man. I created the favorite one, and here he is, swinging. I should have put a web in his hand and maybe something coming out towards us, but I didn't. Thinking about it, I should have, but that's for next time maybe. I mean, I will make a lot of this Spider-Man, as I have done and as I will do. Thank you, Nick. I'm happy you enjoyed it and that you like the results. That's important. The most important thing, that you enjoyed it because you requested it. Let's see what we will do tomorrow. If you guys have any idea for tomorrow, I'll be back tomorrow. Let's see if I will draw it. If it's something enjoyable and fun. It should be in this kind of style, comic booky style. Somebody requested I don't know how to put it. It was like a Pokemon or something, but it's nothing that I could try to do it, but it will just be comedy. We will all laugh about it later. I will laugh myself and cry myself to sleep after that. Okay, guys, that's it. I need to say good night and good evening, no matter where. Maybe it's evening where you are, but I have to say good night, and hopefully we'll see each other tomorrow, because tomorrow's a new day. So Spidey's here signing out.